Aura guys. Though it is only MySQL, just to differentiate it, I'm making it like that. So rename and say, so I have two extracts and now I'm going to use the merge transform. The merge will merge both this data and put into the target. So merge customer diff. If I join these two and if I define a table here, anyhow, these all transforms you will learn yourself. When the requirement comes up, you'll then start looking into what are all the transforms I have here and you will do it yourself. But then just that you know where we can use and what for we can use, I'm trying to show you. Why does it throw an error? Because there are no fields here. That's the reason. And the merge transform, you will have to make sure that they have the same number of columns and same number of same names even, or at least the sequence should be the same. So if you see now, merge, you don't have anything to do. You don't have more control. All it will do is it will merge source A and source B and give it as one single set of data. So we are going to run this job just to see if we have fulfilled this particular example or not. Did I do that in this? Okay. So I'm running this job. I want it to actually run in the debug mode so that you see that. In general, some of the places the merge transform, it will not allow you to run it in the debug mode, but because I used query, it is fine. It should be able to show you. So merge, what it does is I have extracted data one source which is region ID 2 and I have other source which is the region ID 1 here, and if I wanted to look at how it merged, I have to replace one of them, so I'm replacing rightmost. So it merged the data irrespective of what the data is. It creates it as one single set. You see here, it just merged. So that is the purpose of the merge transform. You use this merge transform always in data warehousing, data conversion. Most of the projects I saw using it. But again, merge is also is a very good transform. But then if you have a very big volume of data, people won't really use this merge transform of data services because it is going to be again a memory killer. But when you are having maybe a million records, even then merge works fine. If you are having huge data of like 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, then you can't use merge transform. So to an extent, it is good. And then when we have some problems, we are going to do some performance tuning and get rid of it. Performance tuning anyhow will come back. But this is the merge transform and how to make use of it. Now I'm going to show you a very important transform, and you will have to actually put your entire mind to understand this map operation. This is going to confuse every one of you what the map operation is. But let us take a break of 5 minutes. We'll come back and look for the map operation, and also we are going to look the key generation transform, and then the remaining transforms anyhow. I will not show you every of the transform which is in here because they are not going to be used by. But I'm going to show you the key generation and also the other one which I promised, key generation and map operation. The remaining will come back and we'll see if I may have to show you the data transfer, which is also one of the good transformations that is more for the performance tuning. So we'll see at that point. Pivot and reverse pivot, I will tell you what these are used for, but they are not very much used. And then we'll go forward and look at it in many different things, because I already covered most of the transforms. Today we wanted to use the I want to show you building a data flow from XML as a source. So let us take a 5-minute break or 10 minutes break. But before we break, do you have any questions, guys? Go ahead. Okay. Merge transform, as I told you, is you can use it for certain volume of data, but if it is beyond that, how we do it is you can do a uh, performance tuning, which will actually make this data flow to run in parallel, and then it can achieve to an extent. But if that also doesn't work, then you'll have to make use of temporary tables. You'll have to stage the data in temporary tables and then try to attain a database level merge, and then you can insert that data or use that data. But as I told you, if there are duplicates, the merge transform cannot actually eliminate that. So at that time, you'll get the SQL transform into picture. The SQL transform will work if it is a single source. That is also a limitation of SQL transform. But all I can show you is, for now, just to make you understand, if you go into data flow properties, you have the option called degree of parallelism. You can increase the degree of parallelism, and to certain extent you can reach a good threshold that you can even load 200,000, 300,000, a million or 2 million records easily, because you're going to use more CPUs when you want it to attain the degree of parallelism. But that is only when you have a performance issue. At first we will not use any degree of parallelism, but then if we have that performance issue, that is the way. And if we go even beyond that, and if it doesn't work, as I told you, there is other transform called data transfer transform, which can be used to achieve a better performance when we have a blocking transform like this. When you have a merge transform, and when you are trying to merge like 2 terabytes of data and it is performing bad, then what we will do is we will put this data transfer transform, which will create a temporary table in your database, which will increase the performance of it. That is the one way of doing it. And at the database level, even you can do certain things and achieve it. But if you wanted to use the same functionality, there is no other way of doing it in data services. When you want to merge two sources, you'll have to go for merge transform, and you'll have to follow certain performance tuning techniques to beat that issue. As I told you, if it is a heterogeneous sources, then you use the merge transform. If it is the same sources, you can always write it in a SQL statement and put a union or union all. It works fine. So there are certain performance tuning techniques which we will learn in mostly next week, or tomorrow. I would show you some performance tuning techniques which we will be using. If you see, the commit size here is by default it is 1000. We have certain limitations, we can increase them. The number of loaders we can increase to achieve the performance. But just that you know that you cannot merge directly a huge data and ask data services to perform it easily. It is going to hang, because data services will be a very good tool unless it won't cross the memory size of 2 gigabytes. And if it goes beyond that, even it is going to shift by default, it is going to shift itself from in memory to pageable. That is an option. It selects by itself. It processes anything in memory if it is less than 2 gigabytes. If it is more than, then it will use the pageable cache, which is it will use the server resources and do the caching there. If it even crosses like 4 gigs or 10 gigs, then you'll have to go for a degree of parallelism, which will increase the performance. And even you have more tuning techniques on the target side. You can use number of loaders and increase the commit intervals. That is one of the technique we use. And the ultimate technique, finally, what we use is using a data transfer as one of my transforms, so that it increases the performance by creating a memory table to get this operation done easily. So there are certain ways of tuning the performance, but directly there is no other transform that can replace a merge transform, just in case you have high volume of data. You don't have that here. Okay. Any other questions before we break, guys? Merge can only merge a row level. Yes, it can only merge data, not metadata. When you look at it column wise, if you want to merge them, then you'll have to use this pivot or reverse pivot, which can convert rows into columns and columns into rows. But then the functionality of merge is different, so I don't want to mess up with a pivot and reverse pivot. To give a straight answer, yes, merge is used to merge only data at row level, not the column. Any other questions before we break it? Okay then, it is 10:13. Let us meet back at 10:30 exactly, which gives you 15 to 20 minutes if you wanted to have your dinner or lunch, or if you skip your breakfast, go ahead and have it now. I should be back in another 15 minutes. Thank you guys.